is the Yortzeit of the Arizal. It's very recommended to obviously light a candle and pray in his zechut. He be'av, the Yortzeit of the Arizal. Rabbi Yitzchak Luri, alav shalom. So one of the things that we found by the Arizal, and it's unbelievable how many Sidurim they actually have it, and many people they don't know that they have it. Before you start praying, there is a very short tefillah that the Arizal put in our tefillot. And he established that tefillah saying that only throughout this tefillah, you're making that your prayer will be accepted up in Shamayim. What is it? So the tefillah of the Arizal is as follows. It says, before you come to pray in the Bet HaKnesset, even before Korbanot, you should say, Hareni mekabel alai mitzvat aseh. I'm taking upon myself an obligation mitzvat aseh ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, to love ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Ve'hareni ohev kol echad mibnei Yisrael kenafshu me'odi. And I love every single one of Am Yisrael like my soul, like myself, and like my whole body, my money, my goods. And Chazal is saying that this prayer, this tefillah, should not say it just read it. Should stop a moment and to actually understand what's the meaning of the Avtala Recha Kamocha. To think about all the type of different Jews that there is in the world. If it is not religious, lefties, righties, if it is Syrian, Moroccan, Ashkenaz, Boca River, everything. And have every single Jew in your mind. And then you say that prayer. And the question is, why this prayer is so important before we come to pray Shacharit? Let me pray Shacharit, then we'll talk about the Aventura Kamocha. He says, no, even before Korbanot. The answer is, because only throughout unity between us, we're causing that my prayer will not be a single prayer, but I'm being part of all of Am Yisrael, and then my prayer can be accepted. Chazal is saying that when a person prays Yahid alone, his tefillah is being checked. Who is the guy? What did he say before? What's his kavanah now? How much effort he's putting and how much kedusha he's having. Habibi, the chances that we have are minimum, right? But when you come and you connect yourself with Am Yisrael, with the tzibur, then the tefillah is not being checked. It's tefillah tzibur, it go all the way up. That's why, says the Arizal, it's important to recite this tefillah. But I want to go with you, if you allow me, in the next 5 minutes, 6 minutes, into a deep idea that I think it's unbelievable. And for me it was a chidush. I never heard this chidush before. About the famous story that we all know in the Gemara Masechet Gitin, the story of Kamta Bar Kamta. We all know the story, I don't have to repeat it, right? And once you hear the story of Kamta Bar Kamta, there is a whole list of questions. The Gemara says because Kamta Bar Kamta, right? Harvei Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim was destroyed. So, first question is, right? Why Kamta is guilty? What Kamta did? The whole problem was Bar Kamta. Bar Kamta was the one who went to the party, and the owner of the party that we don't even know his name, right? Kicked him out, and he didn't want to leave. And then he said, "Yo, all the Hachamim didn't say a word, and they didn't care. I'm gonna go to the Romans." And then the whole process happened. What was Kamta involved in the story? He was the guy that was supposed to get the invitation. That's it. That's question number one. Question number two, because of two guys who destroyed Yerushalayim. Al Kamta or Bar Kamta Harvei Yerushalayim. Two guys. Question number three: why really we don't find any consequence or any rebuke in the Gemara about the owner of the party? He embarrassed him in front of the whole event. So I'll tell you what I heard, and it's something that I think it's very, very important, especially nowadays. He says, Kamta and Bar Kamta, they were not just two people. It was not just a guy called Kamta and a guy called Bar Kamta, and that's it. There were two groups of people. There was the group of Kamta, and there was the group of Bar Kamta. And what was the difference in between these two groups? The group of Kamta were the groups of certain Chachamim, the type of guys that is everything black or white. It's clear enough. This is the way how we should act. That's the way to fulfill Torah and mitzvot. That's it. Now, the group of Bar Kamta was a group of people very involved into, we have to get along with everybody. We have to not only between us, also with the Goyim, also with the Romans, we have to have certain type of connections over there and be part of them. That's why we found such an easy way for Bar Kamta to go to the Romans. How a guy goes and he, speaks to the Caesar, hello. He represented the group, and that group of connection that they had. And when the Gemara says that there were Kamta and Bar Kamta, these two groups, each group loved his people. But when it came to the other group, those are out of the picture. These guys, they don't represent Torah. They don't represent Judaism. And when this guy, because it doesn't matter who is this guy, it's the ideology. When this guy has his event, he's only going to invite his people. And that's how, by mistake, for some reason, happened to be that a guy from the other group appears and he's bothering. What a guy that goes with the different ideology that for us it's completely wrong and it's asur and it's a rasha. What is he doing here in my event? Get out of here. And the Chachamim are not even saying a word. Why? Many reasons can be. But one of the main reasons, they were also affected from the same mentality. Rabotai, unfortunately, Kamta and Bar Kamta, they're still alive until today. We still live with that concept of being groups. Now, I want to be clear. All this is inside the parameters of Torah, that's for sure. But even inside the Torah's dome, we have to know that there is different groups. And if you believe in one type of way, we should know that there is other types of ways how to worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to accept it. So unfortunately, this problem is until today. If I belong to one group, I consider myself A and B. And whoever is not like me, he's already class B, he's already class C or Z, whatever. Or I decide to understand that there is other path in Judaism. According to Torah, according to Halakha, but at the end of the day, they also have their ways. Unfortunately, when it comes to the machloket that we see nowadays. With this, I mentioned it to you in the past. Today, even in the internet, whenever you want to see something, so it pops out, right? The news and the things that usually you look at, right? So usually you see a certain type of videos, so the system already knows you, and it knows what's in your interest, and is only going to show you this type of interest. In Israel, they realized that all the people that are in the righty side of the politic, they only get all the right information, and the left is the same. And there is no way for none of the groups, right, to get in a regular way, right, information of the other side. Rabotai, that's the Hurban. The Hurban is through different groups. When I consider myself, this is my group of people, and all the rest of the people are wrong. It's either my way or the highway. That's the Hurban Mikdash. And that's what the Torah, what the Gemara is trying to teach us by the story of Kamta Bar Kamta. That story is still alive. Just want to finish with this. I will tell you a story, but it's a different day. But I heard that that there was a guy in Israel, in a certain group of people. He grew up with that group of people. That was his education, everything like him. And one day, true story, one day he went out for a shidduch. And that shidduch, by mistake, without planning it, happened to be that he dated a girl from a different group. This boy, after the date, he enjoyed it so much, but he realized there was a mistake with the shatchanit. I don't know what exactly. At the end of the day, he was looking out for this girl. He couldn't find her. Took him 3 years after that date to find that girl again. And what happened at the end? He ended up realizing that the reason why he couldn't find her was because she belonged to a different group. If it was Ashkenaz and Sephardi, Hasid or Litai or whatever, different group. Unfortunately, we live with the same mentality. We're closing our minds all the time. We should start working on that, and Be'ezrat Hashem Borei Olam will find us the final redemption only at the moment that we will decide, Be'ezrat Hashem, to open our minds to different groups. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Abraham Azancot Two, Menachem, Sara, Devora,